Another person that seems to have no interest, and only two other eligible people. One of them put in his application for training captain, which is also another needed position. So I am not going to consider. I don't want to consider any options until we go through this promotional process, and then we can get together and talk with labor about our is the requirements, the time requirements too stringent? Do we need to do a one-off, half the time that we have people as lieutenants? Is the position of captain still irrelevant? Should we be moving to a battalion chief model and everybody's lieutenant? Should we change the title of the job and make everybody a captain and have battalion? There's a few options, but I just hope it's not my leadership in the way I'm running the department.
I would highly doubt that it is. I think you're correct in your assessment of how quickly we have grown, and with retirements and new lieutenants.
And medical retirements and
Right.
Other things. We are right now. We are a very young and frankly inexperienced department.
All right. Well, more of our growing pains. Right. All right.
Sure.
Let's see if we're going to cover some of it. Talked about the pancake breakfast last time. That went over well. Social media outreach, we're cranking that up for our next phase of levy lid lift discussions. And we still have the citizen in the village that is willing to participate in that. So hopefully that connection between Kelly and her, I think they've had some discussions before. If we could dump off some of Kelly's workload to her, I think she would do a good job. But I will leave that up to you and Kelly to assess and determine if that's the best way to go. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Just out of curiosity, budget-wise, what's your sense of where we are? I mean, I know our overtime budget is way out of whack, but we have spent less in other areas.
We're at 57% overall of the budget expenditures, so we're online. Revenues are up a little bit. I don't have an exact percentage. I don't remember the number, but revenues are up a little bit.
From
transport.
Okay. Just means a lot more calls, right?
Right, and that means and more overtime and more rigs breaking down and all the an increase in volume causes other downstream effects. So we're cranking along. I don't expect to be over budget this year, but we'll see what the rest of the year holds for us.
And fuel has gone up again. Are we doing okay there?
We're right around just over half.
Okay.
Fuel.
All right.
If it maintains at $5 a gallon, it may be over by the end of the year. Can't remember exactly how we did the calculation, but we didn't calculate it to be at $5 a gallon for an entire 12 months. We were looking more at the fluctuations that we've seen, but now we're just at 485, 505, something like that a gallon. So.
Okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments?
Only comment I have is just going back to the social media aspect for the levy lid lift and preparation of it. I can tell you I'm certain there's a big kind of anti-government, anti-county push right now for prison reform and corrections facilities and law enforcement. I think that will also translate into some negativity towards fire, EMS type stuff. So the sooner the fire department can get out ahead of that and start putting some positive feelers out, the better.
We've been working, I should say Kelly's been working very hard this summer to capture call them feel-good stories, human interest stories. Not just what we do for the citizen, but take things from Birch Bay Park and Rec or the school district, good things that they're doing, resources for families, whether it's on the east side or the west side. So really, we've been trying to share and show our involvement in just good community outreach, not just in here's what the government's doing for you. So
Yeah.
we're trying to be very cognizant of. Yeah, there will be some pushback, or oh, of course you want to raise taxes, kind of talk.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now with the jail challenges, that's translating into negative emergency responder
Yes.
press, and it's growing. So I just want to make sure we have something to combat that that's very out in front of things, and very kind of contemporary with the approach.
One of the pieces that comes with working with someone like Liz Loomis is that they also have true PR people who are watching those kind of things. They're watching articles in the newspaper that might just, even like you said, just brush up against a public safety interest story, not just about police or fire, but to be kind of cognizant of the trend. If there's I want to say anti-government, but critical of government services.
Yes, yeah,
Type.
and where money's being applied.
Correct. So thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Bruce.
So we have the consent agenda, motion and seconded, and discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Commissioner meeting reports.
I completed ICS 200,
Wow.
so
nice.
now I am eligible for the FEMA class when registration opens in September.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity of meeting Chief McDermott, and I double plugged with dispatch. So I just wanted to get a feel for that side of our fire department. Very interesting, very, yeah. It was a really great experience, actually. Those people are amazing what they do. I also submitted my first grant. Thank you to you and Jenny and Chief for it takes a village. It's not an easy task. So we should hear back. They say that all eligible people, they'll get a response in October, and they'll ask for more information, and then they'll make their final decision in November, and money is dispersed in December. So we'll know.
And we
October.
requested how much?
30,000
30,000 for some training equipment.
extrication equipment. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
And also, the Red Cross wants to partner with us again for a smoke alarm install day.
Okay.
So, so I just need to know if we're in on that. They want us. They prefer for us to pick the neighborhoods, and October is Fire Prevention Month, and so our date is October 7th if we choose to participate. And if we pick the neighborhoods, we can be the ones to go door to door to sign people up, or Red Cross will partner with us and go door to door in those neighborhoods. Or if we provide them with the information, Red Cross will do that portion of it. And then we partner with them for the installs like we did previously.
If I could vote on behalf of the staff here, I would say it would be nice if the Red Cross did all the legwork and we participate on the install side like we did last time.
Okay.
I don't think that we have a plethora of bodies to run around and do the initial contact. And I think they're so good at it. They've done it so much.
So many times.
It's nice to show up, get your list, knock on the doors, and go for it.
Right.
Even though I won't be here, but that's okay.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know that we get any pushback from the chief on that.
No, that would be my preference.
Okay.
We can give you a neighborhood.
Perfect. That'd
And
be
you're
great.
talking October 7 again, is that correct?
Yes,
That's what you said.
Is that a Saturday?
it's a Saturday,
Perfect.
but the date may change, so.
Sure. Anything else? Good?
Not for this go around.
Nothing. All right. Is Scott still here, or you're representing the 106 group?
Lucky you guys. Yeah, Scott's on the call. He apologizes. Not a whole lot to report. We did fill the booth during the fair week. I
Oh,
don't think we've got a total yet for that.
where did you do that?
In Linden, like right across from the fairgrounds,
Nice.
as people were gonna go buy their $40 corn dogs. We asked for money, so I think it was good. And
It was a bargain.
Yeah, we were the cheapest option there. We got the 5 new people off probation, and still just struggling a little bit with staffing. Seems to be the officers now are having their issues. We got a couple out of town and vacations, so lots of overtime, and it continues. But overall, from what I can see, I think morale's upticking. I think we're doing good. Just working a lot, but doing good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to Labor on behalf of District 4 for helping promote the levy lid lift.
Yeah.
And the pancake breakfast and all the outreach was, I think we did it right this time.
Yeah, I know Scott did a lot of work and got a lot of help with all the signs. And it was interesting to partner up with some of those big politician people and work with them, but it worked. So
Yeah.
we learned a lot. I think we're all right.
It was a good dry run for the next one.
Yay.
Hopefully people aren't worn out. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any new legal issues, Chief?
Sir.
Oh, I haven't seen our attorney for like a year, I don't think.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I know.
We can invite him. It's just.
No, I'm happy.
Yeah. We talk
Yeah,
once or twice a month, and
for a while there, we were,
knock on wood, let's.
Yeah,
keep
it's a
going.
good thing.
yeah.
Stop while you're ahead on that one.
Unfinished business, District 4.
The levy passed. Moving on to the next piece, we need to address the contract for services for next year. The District 4 board respectfully requests a 1-year extension in light of the fact that District 21 has to fix its levy rate, or address its levy rate, I should say, not fix, but address it. And they are super excited about moving forward with, a campaign to permanence is what I would call it. Continuing to work with District 21 to bring those two organizations together.
Can you refresh my memory, because it's really bad, about forming an RFA? If we were to do that prior to a levy lid lift, we can't, can we set the new rate with the RFA?
Yes.
So we could move forward. I mean, I'm kind of talking out the side of my face here, and I don't want to get us going down the wrong path, but we're going to spend all this time and effort on a levy lid lift, and then we're going to turn around and spend all this time and effort on a RFA formation, and reestablishing a mill rate. Is there any thoughts or ideas on which is the best way to pursue that?
I've already reached out to Karen Reed and wanted to get your perspective, the board's perspective, before I actually had a video conference or a telephone call with her about option A or option B. What would be?
So one, we could we could use Liz Loomis to help us.
With the PR. Liz does
But-
the PR piece.
Right, but to get her thoughts on either or, which one comes first, which one can, I just hate having to go twice.
Yes.
So, if Karen can help us sort that out, that gets us to the end point without having to do a levy lid lift and then an RFA. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're race ready to do the RFA.
Right. We're at the we're 89% complete. It was really just a couple of tiny issues that kept us from finishing that project.
Right.
And now that we have District 4's levy solid, it's set for the next 5 years. Really, we could bundle the RFA and a new levy rate. And maybe that levy rate would be 99 cents. I don't know what the levy rate would be, but it could be a simple for the District 4 voters to absorb and simple for the District 20.
Well, they're at $1.17.
Correct. It would, we'd have to look at how their EMS levy plays into that. And, they did do the 3%. But that would be, like I said, I'd already laid the groundwork for having a conversation with Karen Reed about just wanted to assumed that this conversation would come up today. And do we want to move forward with 2? And then maybe get Karen and Liz in the same room or on the same phone call and figure it out. What's our chances?
Are we as a board interested in doing that, as rather than going to the voters twice, trying to roll the RFA with the financing piece all in one effort?
Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Interested? Yeah.
Well, in directing the chief to pursue what it is, can we do it, is it feasible, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, can we direct the chief to start that process of evaluating the options?
I think that's appropriate, yeah.
I would like to see Karen's ideas, so yes.
All right,
Okay.
so directed.
Hi, sir.
Okay, remind me, I have a question for you later about the EMS piece. Anything else on D4?
No. Other than, I was going to suggest that the board chairs get together and discuss what do we want to do with the 1-year extension? Do we want to rewrite the whole contract? Do we want to do a 1-year extension, 1-pager MOU? I just think it could be a quick meeting.
Okay, let's figure that out before I leave in September, so within the next couple of
Yes,
weeks.
I'd like to have it done before both September meetings.
Okay, so you guys okay with me meeting with District 4's chair and extending their contract for another year while we sort out our funding issues as well as the potential to move forward with the RFA?
I'm fine with that.
You're being
I have questions, but I just think that there's a couple of moving pieces in place that could potentially alter how we would want to approach it. However, yes, for now, I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with
excellent.
that. Just leave it.
Chief, would you reach out to District 4 and see if we can't get a meeting? All right, thank you. Birch Bay, Station 63, Phase 1 RFQ evaluation.
Yeah, sorry, that actually shouldn't be action requested. That's, that's my bad. We have received five, correct? Five packets from architecture design firms regarding the remodel or rebuild of Station 63. So the next step in the process is for a recommendation to come to the board of which firm we should move forward with. Talk to Commissioner Ansel, and we're going to form a subcommittee that's going to last no more than 2 meetings. It's going to expire before the end of the September meeting and come up with what that recommendation would be. So, Chief Ward, myself, Commissioner Rickberg, and Commissioner Ansel, and then 1 member at large from the union. And we're just going to figure out which firm we want to move forward with. That's no design stuff, no what's it going to be. It's simply selecting the firm.
Are there any landmines right now?
None of the 5 are landmines at all. All of them have a pretty good track record of building fire. Well, they have excellent track records of building fire stations.
And
other buildings as well.
my understanding, have they quoted what they're going to do and how much it would cost?
There's no cost figure established at this point. That's going to be something that we would, once we decide on that specific entity, we would sit down and go over with them. It is a cost factor no matter what we do. The last figure we had from TCA was right around $60,000 from them. And I would assume that all of them are going to be in that area. Because they're providing more than just a consult. They're doing preliminary drawings. They're doing the evaluation of the property. They're doing a lot of the prep work to determine whether that property is even feasible to build on.
So other than their background and record and resumes, et cetera, how do we know we're picking the most cost effective?
Well, they provide us with, most of them, a couple of them really weren't that detailed, but most of them are really, really detailed as far as what they provide as far as the service goes. Those are things that we can ask as questions to them as we progress. So once we meet, we can look them over and come up with a list of questions. That's part of this process that we can send to each one of the vendors or companies and ask specific questions. And then the second meeting, we would come back with those answers. And at that point, we could come up with a better decision on what we want to do.
It does, but are we going to have any type of means to compare the service to the costs?
Well, that's why we would assign it to all 5 entities. We wouldn't just assign it to 1 or 2.
At that first meeting?
Yes, that's why we'd come up with whatever questions we want. Those questions would go to all 5 entities, expecting a response back from them. And then once those are back, we have our second meeting. We would evaluate those questions,
that makes
and that
sense.
would give us a little better valuation of what we're doing.
Yes, as long as we're able to make those determinations and see if we're getting.
And that'll make the auditor happy that we've made due diligence and making sure that we're getting the best bang for the buck and that. So not just picking one just because they got a pretty flyer.
And we are on for August 29th at 9 a.m. here.
Yes. Right before
I was just
I
gonna,
wanted, what I was doing was, I didn't want it, that's one of the ones that can last all day.
right. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Let's put a timestamp on it. Well done.
I'm learning.
All right. Apparatus purchasing plan. Who's gonna
That's a struggle.
take this one?
That's a serious struggle. We have a request to you to update the pricing on the ambulance. We do not have one in play right now because of the initial cost shock that we were given by Road Rescue. Unfortunately, Road Rescue's not giving us a reasonable timeline to build the next one. So we've moved to another company. It's Lifeline. They're through Hughes Northwest, which is the Pierce distributor. Braun Northwest out of Chehalis kind of gave us a lot of delay. And we were to a point where we were like, okay, they just don't want our business. And then they sent me a basic email that just said, oh yeah, it's going to be between this and this. Not a firm anything. And Braun has just secured a very large contract with LA City Fire Department. So they're building all their ambulances now. So, I mean, again, we've kind of moved down the line of being not a, priority in their book anymore. They've got a big contract. Lifeline has given us a shorter timeline to get an ambulance. And their process seems to be a little more fine-tuned than Road Rescue's is as far as getting one. They're letting us know that we could have a cabin chassis within a year, and then nine to 10 months after that, we would have an ambulance. So Road Rescue is telling us it's 3 years just to get a cabin chassis.
Lifeline's got a shop down in Mount Vernon, correct?
Hughes Northwest has a shop down in Mount Vernon, Burlington. And that's one of the key factors that's moving us towards them is they have an actual service center that's somewhat local. So if something needs to be done that our mechanic can't do, they have technicians that are on site. They've got 2 that are on site. They're EVT masters. So these guys are all fully trained, fully skilled at what they do. And if it's something major, they can come up to us, and it's not an all-day trip type of thing for them to provide service. So, that's one of the things that's also kind of leaning us towards them. Build-wise, they're going to build us a tank just like these Road Rescues are. I made contact with the department down south that bought one, and they're totally happy with it. Another thing is Seattle, Redmond, Renton, North County, Bellevue. There's like 6 departments that have quit using Road Rescue and Braun and have moved to Lifeline. So that tells me a little bit about, they're building a decent rig too. So they'll still build it to our spec. It's not like we're having to compromise on anything. They do have some ideas that might make them a little more user-friendly for our crews that we're willing to look at. So when the direction goes to, if you approve us to move forward on it today, we'll meet with the apparatus committee and we'll finalize, if we're going to change anything or modify anything, or we're going to keep it the way we have it. And then we'll move forward on the process with getting it ordered.
We're talking 1 unit?
We're 1 unit now. We'd like to look at
This,
Right.
remember how we kind of got them staggered?
Yeah. Now we're really staggered.
staggered's getting
Well,
off.
no, this will keep it, we'll be on the far end of staggering.
Okay.
With Lifeline. But the word from Braun Northwest and the word we got from Road Rescue, Rev Group, which is, was just gonna completely throw the cycle that we built out of whack.
Basically, we get the next one, if we get the next Lifeline, once we know that it's on its way here, we'll want to be looking at ordering the next one. That kind of will keep us in that loop of not being overly wearing them out like we have had in the past.
So for Commissioner Rigberg, just real quick, what we were doing was buying 4 8 cars at one time. And it turned out every 4 or 5 years, we had this huge $1 million plus bill for 8 cars. Instead, what we've done is we've staggered them about every 18 to 24 months so that you never lose your whole fleet at the same time.
Sure.
Or we never get a bad batch of engines at the same time.
Is there an advantage financially to getting more than 1 unit at the same time, though, or are they all independently priced?
At the rate we buy them, there's no price break for buying multiple rigs. If we were in LA City or in New York City, we'd probably be talking a different story. But to buy 2 or 3 ambulances,
Doesn't make a difference.
get them under contract doesn't make any difference.
And is there any opportunity to partner with another agency who's buying similar units to try to get in at the same time to expedite the delivery of the service?
No, we're in a processing program, and once they're established on the list, you could be buying 25 apparatus, you're now in that list. And so if we get into that mix, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't speed us up any really.
I see. Okay.
Right now, they're, parts are still having some issues. What I've been reading and hearing is the chips are still having some issues getting the right chips for vehicles still. And so they are literally, you put an order in, another department puts an order in for 10, you're still there in that cycle just because they're struggling at getting cabs and chassis.
If the need is there presently, and it sounds like there's reasonable exigency in having to get at least one of them, is that correct?
Correct.
And we anticipate that there could be, and there are, manufacturing delays and equipment delays. Is there any disadvantage, except for finances, which I understand is important, besides the financial aspect, to getting two up front to make sure that we have what we need to continue to provide the services?
We can. One of the things, though, that is an outlook in the world for a change is that both Lifeline and Road Rescue said that they are starting to see parts that would take 3-4 months, taking 2 to 3 weeks now. So, they are seeing...
Whole different world.
Yeah, I know. They are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
I can't say anything for the cab and chassis manufacturers because they don't tell us anything. But as far as getting build parts for the rigs, they're seeing an improvement in getting that material in rather than it taking, the extended amount of time that we've seen in the past.
So everything is tracking to
So
this
the
model.
way I'm
being the
looking
best.
at it is I would see that, yeah, exactly, that we'd see a lesser delay if we were to buy one next year. It might not be a year, it might be 9 months again, just because things are starting to get caught up with the system. Can't say, I don't have a crystal ball.
I know. It sounds fantastic. Okay, thank you.
So,
What do you need from the board on this?
you gave us authorization to spend up to 280,000, I think it was, wasn't it? For the last ambulance. Since then, prices have, obviously. So we are right now looking at 303 and change for the Lifeline unit. So I'm asking for 315 just to cover some overages if there is any. 315,000 to approve the purchase of our next ambulance. I know the ground is cold under my feet too, because I never thought I would ever say that I want 315,000 for an ambulance. Chief and I had this discussion that we still in our eyes see at the most 140,000 for an ambulance and 350,000 for a good engine, and that world is gone. So that's what I'm asking the board to approve today, is if for the approval of up to 315,000 for the next ambulance.
Just be advised, this is just more of an advisory vote at this point, that know that these are the numbers that we're talking about. We'll bring an actual purchase
Sure.
to you with documentation and all those things.
Right.
We just want you to be aware. We're bumping up yet again to a higher amount of money, and that we're talking in those numbers with vendors.
Okay.
And what we got back from Braun Northwest, their little blurb email, and from Road Rescue, the numbers are all the same across all three manufacturers.
It's just that hopefully we get faster service.
Well, one piece I'd like to point out, and I say this in the politest way possible, Florida Chamber of Commerce, Lifeline's employee, they're in central Iowa. They seem to have a much more stable employee base than maybe Florida does.
Okay.
When you look at them, they have employees that have been there 20, 30 plus years. We're getting the impression that
Not the impression, we were told flat out that Road Rescue hires, 24 people on Monday, and by Friday they're down to 2. It's just, unfortunately, when you're not, it's.
Understood. So I guess, thanks for the information. We need a rig. And when you figure it out, you'll come back and ask us to pay for it.
Okay. So
Sorry, it's such a hassle.
No, it is what it
I know,
it is, so.
It's too bad.
So,
All right, anyone else, questions, comments, concerns? All right,
we'll talk-
any other unfinished business?
So would you,
I was just gonna say,
yeah.
would you just do an advisory vote or, make a motion that we can work with that 315 number, no higher, but that's not a purchase. That's just you're allowing us, we just want to make sure the board is aware that we're talking in that dollar figure.
So moved
Second.
to allow them to use the $315,000 number for a starting point for the next rig. Moved, seconded. Anyone else discussion? All in favor? There you go, chief.
Thank you.
Then Commissioner Ansel, one last thing on the apparatus is the 2 tenders that we currently have on order.
Yep.
I have exhausted everything I can to try and find another vendor that might be able to get them to us sooner. We even went to Quebec to a vendor there that sells them, and yes, they can get them to us quicker. But in conferring with our mechanic, they don't use Utah USA DOT standards. They use Canada standards, and his concern is things would be different than what we currently have, and that's also what we found out with a couple of the departments that purchase them. A lot of the departments that are purchasing here in the States are very small departments that aren't going to use them a lot, so maintenance and things like that are going to be more equitable for them. Our goal would be to try and keep our rigs as similar as we possibly can. So their price was, no different than what we've already got on the books with Spartan as far as price goes. Even with exchange and taxes and everything else, it was relatively close to what we're currently paying. So there's been no change in what we're looking at as far as the tenders go. They're still on order. It's still in process. Nothing has been put on hold. It's just not, I can't find anything else that's going to work for us. We've looked at not a local company out of Fouts. I can't remember where they're out of. Georgia? Somewhere down in there. And they're just not going to, they wouldn't hold up for us. They're not built for our abuse that we're going to give it, even though they're not going out every day. They're just not built for a 10-year apparatus for us. So
what's our timeline on delivery?
we're still looking at probably 2026 by the time they're here.
Yeah.
And we've looked at all the options, cabs and chassis. We've gone to Freightliner, Peterbilt, International, Central States, or Central Star. White Star. Sorry, my brain's not working. And looked at all those manufacturers, and we're even if you've got a pink cab and chassis, we really don't care if it meets our spec. We're interested in it. We're gonna paint it red anyway, and it's still hey, we can put you on the list, and you'll be on the build list just like everybody else. So they're flat out not even giving us any budge on it. But I did see something here yesterday on YouTube. I follow a guy down there that does mechanic work, and he's a pretty solid guy. And he drove by the Bradenton plant at Pierce, and it's not an empty lot anymore. They probably had 50, 60 pieces of, or 50, 60 cabs and chassis on their lot. So again, we're starting to see that little bit of glimmer down at the end of the tunnel that might be giving us a little bit of, hey, they're starting to see some rigs being able to be built and finished up. So, and again, we even reached out to Pierce, and we just, they're way out of our price range. So anyway,
All right.
that's all I have.
Thank you. Anything else unfinished? New business resolution 2023-07, a gigantic list of small tools and equipment. Where did all this stuff come from?
You ever been at 63 in the mezzanine upstairs? In the shop, we have a mezzanine that
It's going to collapse because it
Well,
has all
no,
this
it was
stuff.
built for that kind of weight, but it was full of equipment. Honestly, a lot of it has been sitting there way before I even started here. In fact, when Chief and I and Chris all got hired, we spent many a day up there cleaning up the mezzanine as part of our training, and organizing it. And we have, I mean, it's almost one of those you name it piles. There is stuff up there that, like I said, has been there longer than I've been here, and we've just been keeping it. And
So even though some of this stuff looks pretty interesting, if I still lived on 5 acres, it's eons old.
oh, it's all eons old. You know, anything that's there is at least 10 plus years old, and it's just been sitting upstairs. And so rather than it being something that just we keep collecting stuff, Chief Aaron Holtz and firefighter Patty McDermott and Captain Burr McPhail, and I think Ty Thompson have also gone and they've been the instruments to pull it all out, look at what's good, what's not, move all of the stuff we want to try and get rid of or dispose of out to Station 65 because that's the only place we had to store anything. It's all kind of in a pile back there. It's not in any real detailed organization, but as they put it out there, that's where that list came from. And
Well, it's a huge list, and it looks like a lot of time spent organizing it all and then listing it out.
they did. Our goal would be to take it
It's like a neighborhood garage sale.
exactly would be like to take it to like Meridian Equipment to their auction. I need to get a hold of them, see if they'll even want it. I'm sure they will. But tell them that we could bring a couple trailers worth of hand tools and stuff out to them, and they'll auction it off. We've done that before with hose, actually twice, and they handle everything. We just basically take it out to them. They determine the price. They sell it for whatever they can, and they take their cut off of it once it's all sold. So.
Anything in your wish list for America or whatever?
No, I think we need to contact Tyler out there at Meridian Equipment. Whatever is left over, maybe I'll make a phone call and see if they can use it.
Mr. Crawford, would you like, Tyler real well?
We're associates, but we're not hanging out drinking beer together.
All right. Well, thank you for cleaning house. Resolution 2023-07 to surplus small tools and equipment. Is there a motion to approve said resolution?
So
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And thank the crews who spent all that time and effort
Task.
putting it all together. I saw that list. Wow. Correspondence. Not a ton. Nice picture, Chief. What was that one picture in our packet? The blue something? What was that? It was in someone's report. You saw it.
Oh, that was the picture of you doing the blue
Oh, the
card.
blue card.
What is that?
It's a different ICS system. It's Chief Bruncini's program that he started in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it just to kind of see what it was like. It was a Mayday class, and a number of us from Whatcom County took it. Chief Carlton from Point Roberts was the host. He got a grant for it, so it didn't cost us anything other than driving up there. Found out today that he's got another grant that he got through AFG. They didn't give him his radios, but they gave him that grant. So he's going to do another one, which will be free, and we'll try and get a couple more people involved in it. Myself and Chief Aaron Holtz are in the process of taking their ICS program. Again, no cost to us. It's all part of the grant that he got. And it's just a different way of doing incident command and a little bit of different terminology, but it's not anything that's, rewrite of the book. It's just some differences in terminology and how you do the process. So the goal is that everybody south of here, south of Whatcom County, is already using Blue Card. And Whatcom County is the only one on pretty much the west side of Washington that doesn't use Blue Card. And so our hope is that if we can get a small cadre of people that are trained up to it, we can kind of start moving the county to it, so everybody's talking the same, whether we go here or Skagit County, et cetera. So.
All right, thanks. Board meeting attendance, September 21st. I will be out of the country. So, Vice
Ours.
Chair Crawford?
It should be here.
Okay,
I'm here.
okay, we've got 3 out of 5. Get a hold of Commissioner Fisher and hopefully he'll be available, but I will not. Conference, October 26th through 28th. Guest speaker, Commissioner McMurray on Saturday. I think it would be nice if we could all be there for that. What is your guys' thoughts on that conference?
I will not be attending.
Commissioner McMurray's there, or-
It's not as part of it.
I'm sorry, what's the location?
It's in Tulalip.
So this is our annual Washington State Fire Commissioners Association conference where you get to go and learn all the cool things about how to be a fire commissioner.
And that's what date? October 26th?
6,
You can
27,
take my spot,
28.
Matt.
I will be in Vancouver, Canada on those days, so I will not be able to be there. I apologize.
Okay.
I'll be there.
I will be there. Jenny, would you make arrangements?
So when do you want to go down? Are you gonna go down the morning of?
What day are you speaking?
What,
Saturday.
this
the
is
28th.
the
Oh,
conference
well,
agenda.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. My kid's anniversary gift is going with my wife and I on the trip.
Nice.
I would like to see the Friday stuff and the Saturday stuff.
And there's a
The-
grant writing in there too. Is that on Thursday?
That's Friday.
So I guess I need to know what day do you want to reserve like a hotel? Just Friday?
I think so.
And Jordan, I put us on a waiting list because that hotel has been booked solid since June, she said.
I'll go down Saturday.
And so, but there's a block of rooms at Holiday in Marysville and Best
I have
Western.
Yeah, there's a list on the back.
Okay. Arlington.
What time are you doing?
So
your
tell
thing
me
on
what's
Saturday?
wrong.
9.
Two bailiffs on a wait list.
All right. Well, you know. You going through the whole thing? Chief, when are you going?
There's a SNUR conference or a class.
That's Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Friday, Saturday.
So you want for Saturday or Friday night?
Bruce, if
And-
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kim.
they're comping my room too for Friday night.
Okay, so I just need to do the registration for you. And you can see on that piece of paper that you can pick different things.
All right. I'll take this with me and give you a.
And I've got one for you too.
Oh, thank you.
The 28th.
28. Did you have a question?
Not germane to that.
Okay.
It's about the surplus equipment. So I'm going backwards. I apologize.
Would you like to reopen that discussion?
Briefly, just with one small concern or recommendation. I don't know which way it'll go, but if it's really that much equipment and we're asking for money and going for the lift, we just need to be cognizant of the optics of that, and make sure that the appropriate message is also put out with the surplusing of equipment.
Absolutely. If you were to take a look at this, it would look like it came out of a closet from the 80s. It's not serviceable to us.
Understood.
So
No, I get it on our end that it's completely reasonable to surplus it. I just want to make sure the optics are good. That's it. That's all I had.
Thank you. Next meeting, we should have a report back about District 4 contract extension. We should have a report back about the Station 63 recommendation. What's your timeline on the apparatus?
We'll have contracts ready to go probably
Okay.
next week.
Okay, all right.
It's all templated stuff, so it doesn't take them long to get them ready.
Okay. Anything else you're going to have a discussion?
so we'll report.
So RFA versus levy lid lift discussion. Okay. You'll be in charge. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Probably be a 10-minute meeting, right?
We'll see.
All right. Executive session. Yes?
Yes, please.
Okay. So next item is per RCW 42.30.110 subsection G, to evaluate the qualifications of an applicant for public employment or to review the performance of a public employee. How long do you need, Chief?
Only 15 minutes. I promise.
We will break at 12:30 for 15. sorry, we're a wee bit longer than we predicted, but thank you for attending. It's 51. Are we back on the, sorry. There is not going to be any action by the board at this point, other than to direct the chief to do a little bit more research on the issue that was discussed. Any other business before the board? We've got documents to sign. I will move to adjourn.
Second.
It is 12:51. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for